I'm currently listening to a song of Snoop Dogg, which is actually not that bad when you're driving on a motorcycle. But I know it as I only want to make you sweat. But somehow my playlist found a different version of it, making me realize that I had the PG-13 one, the parent advisory in the US. Yeah, just look that up. I'm not gonna. I think my rating on YouTube will take a serious hit if I call that out. What the title of this one is.
This is what makes a biker so excited.
I just want to take a second to take it in. But then my navigation just said, nah, you're gonna do another one. Hello. At least you get to see a little bit more of the Stelvio. So this is actually the best view that I can give you. That was freaking awesome. It feels like coming home somehow. So I just ate at one of the famous places here in Harz, or at least that's what they told me, which is called the Netzkarte, which is something like a fish net, and then with a kitty for some reason. As you can see, there's a lot of bikers here, so it's really like a hotspot for bikers. I enjoyed it. Service was a little bit long, but it's a Saturday afternoon. What do you expect? Other than that, it's Germany at its best. What can I say? I had a lovely steak with fries, also for currywurst and bockwurst, and everything else. You can definitely go here. It's quite central, but as you can see, there's so many bikers, so many routes coming here to this point. So I had to have lunch here, of course. So then you're asking yourself, where will we go next? Well, after some lovely food at the Netzkarte, we are heading to the Kaufhause Monument, which is apparently a big monument in the southeast of Harz, where they say that you have like this big castle with a watchtower and everything else. So that's where we're going as our second stop. It will take us a while to get there. And after that, we will head back north to go through, to have a couple of more sweet spots in order to have a lovely view of Harz. And then we take the north side where all the old towns are, with like the old city centers and the old way of architecture. Those villages will take us back to the hotel tonight. We are a little bit later, but if you compare it to the to the ride we had a week ago, it's still quite okay. I'm still earlier back when I left way later. It is a kind of a tour, because normally I always focus on the driving. I go from A to B, next region, or to explore a region. And now today I'm also exploring the region itself. So go to the bridge, go have a little bit of a longer lunch, go to the statue. A lot of people do it that way. So normally when I call out how many kilometers I drive in a day, people are shocked. Oh, you can't do that, it's way too much. Well, if you stop everywhere, yes, it's way too much. But in my case, I'm very happy as it's balanced. Today though, yes, the amount of kilometers was a little bit lower. I think 270 something. In the area of Rottelberode, I already noticed that there is also a lot of mining going on. And there are several opportunities where you can actually visit those mines still. They're not not all open to the public, but they have a place or two. We can still buy tickets and actually to see how everything was, not only above ground, but I think one also underground. It's in the southeast region, so it's the region that we're passing right now, where they have those places. But again, because there's so much to do here in the region, I couldn't do it today. If I'm ever back, that would be again on the top of my list though. Currently we are swirling along, trying to get to our next destination, the Denkmal, the memorial stone, as we are entering Rottelberode. And I'm probably not even saying that correctly. Schouwheulen Heimkele. And also that I probably won't say it, but that's also here around the corner. Of Stolberg. Yeah, that's easier. And that's the thing, I can't even imagine how it would be to live here. Like, I can imagine that the day-to-day life is pretty much the same, but you're sitting on top of a mountain in a green area. Probably you would be absolutely ballistic with bikers, because you'll hear them every single day. But I would be one of them, you know? I wonder if it ever gets boring, because when I was living I always wanted to live close to the North Sea, and well, by the time that I lived there, I almost never went to the beach. And I was a huge fan of the beach. Maybe that's the same if you live in a hilly area. I just have no idea that then you go to the Netherlands and think, oh wow, this is a change of pace. Beautiful lake. They have a lot of those here. Temperature wise, it's actually quite nice. It's 24-25 degrees. That's the best temperatures you can have on the motorbike with a trip like this. It's already past 3, so I hope that from here the temperature slowly drops again. Nothing to complain about. And just out of nowhere we get this huge viaduct that goes from west to east and east to west, which is the A38, the A38 highway that barricades the south of the Harz area. So that also means that we are now in the greater Harz area region. You can still see the mountains in front of us. That's where we are going, especially the high point. So we still have a big part to discover here. So if you look on the mountain that we were just looking at already, you see the big radio tower. If you go a little bit more to the left, you see 2 towers sticking out as well. That's the Denkmal we're heading to. So it's actually one of the highest points of that mountain. You must have had like the most amazing view from up there. And here you can really see the old architecture again with the church tower. Probably has been rebuilt after the Second World War, but you see all the houses around them. Very much in the same style. In a little while we're going to take a right and then go and climb up that mountain. Look at that. The villages I was talking about on the north side of Harz have this estate as well. I just must have missed this one, I guess. So let's go to Kijfhausen. Oh, you would have missed this turn very, very easily. With a biker cafe also here. Look at all those motorbikes. Sturzgefahr. So there's a sign warning me that there's gonna be a lot of twisties and bendies up here. 36 in a row it said. And then what they do is they put these stripes down. And with those stripes, it's just impossible to be at a curve. You need to be straight up for that. So otherwise you might have an issue here. And then they made this 30. Ah, that's taking out the fun a little bit. I'm very happy that it's not every curve like that. Oh. So you see the difference in driving, right? If you see somebody like that racing on an uncontrolled road with a lot of other traffic, breaking a bunch of traffic laws, I'm not going to make myself popular here, but guys, I understand that you want to have a thrill once in a while, but that's just straight out dangerous. I don't get me wrong. I sometimes push it as well, but not as far as that person. That is supposed to be on a track, not on a road like this. I'm sorry, but you don't give any second for anybody to see you, and then you just go over stripes without even looking into the curve. It's a professional, don't get me wrong. I can tell that he knows how to drive, but he cannot control all the arguments around him. That is freaking dangerous.
5 minutes later.
So I'm gonna take back my words. It looks like there's a very large group here racing quite quickly. Apparently it's normal because a lot of people are watching here as well. So I take back my words about being dangerous. I still think, my opinion is still that it's dangerous. I try to just catch up. And the problem is, because it's not asphalt, it's like glued everywhere. And those lines just make you slip continuously. So I don't understand why so many people race here. But apparently it's a sport here. So I'll just mark this road as, watch out, they're going super fast. As I've been absorbed in this group. Is a really big way up, actually, to be honest. I don't know if I want to walk that far. Wow. It's really up high. They're doing a lot about parking, at least. Neue Wege zum Kaufhause. New roads to there. My navigation wanted to go straight to the tower, but I don't think that will be possible. There's a really nice bike stop here. as I just saw on the footage and probably also behind me, the tower itself is still about 150 meters up, which is a good thing because that means that I can bring my drone up. But if you want to go all the way there, these are the staircases. This is where it starts in order to go all the way up. If I had a bit more time, maybe, but in this current condition, I don't think so. We'll just go to the next viewpoint. We have like 2 viewpoints that crosses right the center of the Harz. So we actually go through the same road down, and then from there we take a side road. There's still a lot to see because that part of Harz, I was told there's also a witch area, which I haven't found yet, but makes for some interesting story though. I went where the witches went, you know, like that sort of stuff. Anyway, sit back, relax, enjoy the sights because, like I said, it is beautiful here. So we are now cruising our way away from the Denkmal, which was in the southeast, a little bit outside of Harz, back into Harz, as you may have noticed. Just making our twisties and curvies and enjoying ourselves. It's currently, it's already 6:30, sorry, 4:30. So, and we are planning to arrive somewhere around 6:37, which is good, but we still have a couple of stops to make because there is quite some good scenery to watch. I have 2 bikers in front of me who are exactly the same speed as I am, same path and everything. That saves some energy for me because now I can just follow them rather than rechecking everything every single time myself. So I am enjoying myself. That's why this smile is here. And look at that weather. Gorgeous, just gorgeous. So we are looking at the Joseph Kreuz in the Harz Mountains, and that's the lookout tower next to Stolberg. So we actually passed this mountain on the other side. This is as close as I can get to it, unfortunately, without hiking all the way up there. So with a drone, I'm not allowed to go into the nature area, so that's why I need to do it a little bit from a side. But it was built in 1896. And you can see as it's a traditional Kreuz, but you can actually definitely go up there. So if you have a bit more time, Joseph Kreuz is definitely the place to be. Now that I have you here in the beautiful Harz during this beautiful day, I just wanted to make an announcement. We will have a larger ride at the end of the season. I promised I didn't, but just circumstances lined up and we just booked a lot in order to go to Trier, Nürnberg, Ring and Winterberg. So that's a long weekend trip that is coming up, and of course everything goes online for my true fans, because the thing that I wanted to say was thank you. A year ago I started this journey and I never would have thought that so many of you would be watching, reaching out and subscribe to my channel, so for that I really thank you. But that also meant that YouTube is generous enough to give me a couple of more tools to work with. One of them is to send super likes. Super likes are things you can do underneath the video in order to support me. And then the other thing is the membership levels, where there's 2 levels. One is that you get loyalty badges and also priority reply to comments. And then the second level, which is the intermediate level, you also get access to all the GPX files of all the routes that ever has shown up on a video. So you get a login that you will be able to download those. So if you're in the region, those routes you can download and immediately drive, they're ready. Or also you get access to videos before they go live. So every time when I post a video, there will be a couple of days ahead that will only be released for member only. So if you want to take advantage of that, look at the memberships underneath this video and on my channel as well. If you have any questions, just post a comment in any of the videos and I'll be sure to give an answer. Yeah, again, I just thank you. I would have never thought this was a hobby of mine. 2 years ago, for the people that don't know, 2 years ago I was in a horrible burnout and I needed to start doing something different than just work, sleep, work, sleep. And I found that in hiking and making videos, shorts. It started on Instagram and it built up to the videos that you see nowadays with drones, microphones, cameras and everything else in lovely scenery, lovely groups and very, very good routes. So to go from that, from 5 likes and already being happy to what it is today, that just blows my mind. I'm very grateful for that, and definitely my loyal fans that have been there since the beginning, or joined midway, or just recently found out that this was something they enjoyed. Share a video with a buddy. I'm sure that if they would like it, they will share it again, and this way we can keep the community growing. So thank you, and yeah. There's so much more to come. I really want to say that. Beautiful curves as always, together with a beautiful lake. As I noticed that in the Alps as well, every single time you get to like a village or something else that is quite nice, there's always a lake behind it, next to it. It's not that clear water as over there, but it is pristine and nice. Also with a staalmauer. So these are very, very narrow roads and then very twisty as well. And you can't really look around the corner to see what's there. So try to make your turns as wide as possible so you can actually look into the turn. If something is coming, you can still adjust. I'm very conscious about the fact that there is some water next to us, but it's just a good sight to see. I'm using the GPS mostly in order to navigate here, as this is the first time I've driven here. But for a German road, this one seems to be very technical. Always astonished me that you're in the middle of nowhere and always found these really, really nice little hotels and little villages, which is perfect for a biker. For some reason, that's what you expect if you're out here. As we are going over the creek, it just looks really, really nice. But trust me when I say that this is the middle of nowhere. This is not where the normal bike routes go. We're still 9 kilometers away from Thale. So we're heading north at the moment on the east side of Harz. Look at those roads. It's getting a little bit later, and you can see that because the sun is going down. Well, not down, but it's hanging a little bit lower than the rest of the day. So for us, in our case, we're actually good on the good side of the mountain. But it's currently 5:30, meaning that it's less than 2 hours left and about 90 kilometers. And as I'm talking, I have not even realized how fast we are going up here. nice twisties. Very nice twisties. So we are entering Blankenburg, and as all the signs are already showing, there's a lot to do here. We are just passing through, but we're still wanted to see some architecture, some older buildings. As you can see right here, the city has a lot of history, which you can see right here, but also a lot to do. This also means that we entered the north side of Harz, of the area. We will make one dip back to still take a couple of roads in order to get to the hotel. And from here we will mostly stay closely on the north side of Harz. I also realized that a little bit back I saw a road that was locked up. That's actually the other side of the road that we had after the bridge. So we couldn't go left around the lake to actually have a good vision of the lake, where they were doing zip lining. But this was the other side of the lake actually. I could have stopped, but I saw it and noticed it too late. And now it's about 20 minutes of a drive back. So as we are trotting along on the north side of Harz, and we just had some nice scenery in order to look to, I just wanted to bring under your attention that in a time not so long ago, when East and West Germany were a thing, so East with the communism from Russia and the West was the capitalism from the British, the French and the Americans, and Germany was very much divided until the late 80s. The wall that was built, of course it was a lie, was to keep people out from the West to steal stuff from the East. But of course, now we know that it was more to keep people into the East because people started to run away and flee away from it because certain freedoms you just didn't have anymore. That wall actually ran through Harz. So on the right side of Harz, Sachsen-Anhalt, you had a big wall in order to keep those people out. And then Niedersachsen, which goes all the way to the Dutch border, which is the other state, was West Germany. So there's a lot of movies about that. The last one I saw was Der Ballon, where somebody handcrafted a hot air balloon in order to go over the wall in order to flee to the west. But you can also find in my favorite city, Berlin, many videos about people that dug tunnels with their bare hands from west to east. You can even visit some of them still. Or people that were flying through the underground system as well, with the death stations, as they called. So if you're ever into those kind of war history, and trust me, it's 1989. It's not that long time ago. I was alive back then when the wall fell, and eventually Germany got reunited just 1 year later. If you ever want more information about that history, definitely can recommend it. So when it comes to Harz was divided, but nowadays you don't notice anything about. Maybe that some of the houses or buildings or towns may look a bit different still, but most of it, of course, is already long gone. And we are now crossing the A36, which we'll do one more time in order to get back. To stay on the north, I don't want to do highway today. Definitely not. I really love the scenery. You see that almost everywhere here, the architecture, with the wooden poles, and then in every section their own collection of blocks. Looks like the entire city, town center was done like that, just like this. And that's actually wood, and then they use brick in order to close up the parts between it. I can imagine that looking at the Dutch architecture, that in the early days that was done with mud, and then they just, or turf, and then they would just dry it up, and that would bring the insulation to the house as well at the same time. But of course brick would be more durable. De Rote Albert, the Red Albert train, de sluisbaan. Welkom in Venigrade. Venigrade is, and I'm so sorry that I cannot drive through the city center. Supposed to have a beautiful city center, especially with the buildings that we saw earlier. But this is a little bit of the bigger cities, and therefore also has a train station, a lot of hotels. So it's actually a good place to stay. I always tend to pick something out of the cities. I like to open my window and see a mountain or see a lake or something else. Here I see some people very German pride. I don't know if there's a soccer match or anything else going on, but it looks kind of funny. Here on the left you can see the main church. I hope I can show you a bit more. Here you can see a little bit more of the architecture. But it's supposed to be a beautiful city. Oh. And some waterfalls as well. Yeah, it's not allowed to go over by bike, unfortunately. And you remember those, right, in Switzerland?